Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another episode of Trudge Report. We are a recovery-based podcast. My name is Sean and I am your host. I'm joined by my good friends and fellow trudgers. Please remember to listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Videos will be posted each week so you can watch episodes on YouTube and Facebook. But as always, please be sure to download on your listening platforms. Remember to like and subscribe on all social media outlets with the handle @TrudgeReportPod. We are brought to you by Stella Mix Podcast Management and our wonderful producer and editor, Miss Janine Stella, who is unfortunately under the weather again. So the boys are running the show. Hide your daughters, hide your pets, hide your jewelry. We're here and we're not leaving quietly. Right, Corey?
Yeah, Sean.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
That's good.
It was great.
Good. Fantastic. We'll get back to you, sir. Mr. G.A. Phillips, the Great Midwest. What's going on, buddy?
Doing well, man. Coming off of a busy weekend, so kind of pooped, but we're here. We're loving life. I'm blessed to be around you, gentlemen. Let's see, noteworthy things from the week. I think that we are very much, I don't want to announce anything just yet, but we are very much on the precipice of nailing down everything for the old wedding. So we will, it won't be too long before I need everybody's address, send out stuff, but I think we finally
You can find me.
nailed down a venue. I will find you.
Hand
I will
invite.
kill you.
Yeah, hand invite.
Liam Neeson ain't got shit on me. All right. So, but yeah, I think we're nailing down, or we have nailed down a venue, and it's just all formalities on signing a contract at this point. So that's exciting.
That'd be a relief. Nice relief.
Yeah. Then obviously the ball can start getting rolling. Everything else has been up in the air because it's like we need the venue, and it's crazy the way these things booked up, man. Like some of these places booked up 2 years solid with the price tags on them. I don't understand how, but whatever.
And there's no way everyone's that solid in their relationship. They know that 2 years down the road,
Right.
They're all good. There's no chance.
Right. But yeah, we feel really good about it.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this.
I can't
It'll be
wait
a blast.
to share the venue with you guys because it's pretty spectacular. So
I'm gonna get drunk and break
Yeah,
something for
I was just
sure.
gonna say, open bar.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
There better be something bacon wrapped and some charcuterie. That's all I have to say.
We're hoping, dude. We're hoping.
Greg,
yeah.
Greg, do you remember?
The food was very, very important. So yes.
Do you remember what Noah ended up wearing by the end of the night at my wedding?
Almost nothing. I think just the diaper, correct?
That's gonna be me at your wedding.
Are you gonna wear a diaper?
I may.
Hell yeah, brother. No, it'll be really nice. I did try to see if they'd slip the old discount for the those of us who are not drinking, and unfortunately, boys, we don't get charged like the children get charged. We're gonna get charged full price, but it is what it is. It'll be a good time. So
Absolutely. Definitely looking forward to it. What's up, Danny P?
Oh, what's going on, fellas? Congratulations, Greg. I know that's
Thank you.
a big relief, man, finding that out. And just avoid the two large things, 36 pizzas after everyone's about to leave. Don't do that. And pancakes on a stick. Don't do that,
Yep.
please.
We're
Two
good.
things, then we're good. All right. Oh man. Just another week, man. We had some 70 degrees springtime weather, cleaned the truck, was outside working, demolishing some brick and some concrete, and it felt amazing. And then it's cold again today, and it's just like a little boxing match with Mother Nature up here in Ohio.
Dude,
And,
it was like deceptively cold today because it was sunny. Like I woke up, it was sunny. I'm like, I'm gonna go outside in the skivvies, dude. It was frozen.
Yeah, man. After basketball, me and Maya, we went to the park, and I was like, all right, and I go there, and we started walking back, and I was like, dude, I'm freezing right now.
Yeah,
It's like, what's happening right now? It's crazy.
What do you do with the stone and the brick that you demolished? Do you use that for something, Dan?
No, nope, not at all. We use that
You're
for
just doing it for the hell of it.
dumpster weight. That's what we use that for. We're demolishing it and putting it right in the dumpster. Maya was actually, I paid Maya $20 and she carried probably about 50 bricks and put them in a trash bag and moved the bags. I was like very impressed. Yeah. She was
Nice.
she was a good helper. But yeah, my back's killing me. That's another thing, another revelation this week. I guess I'm old. I felt that. Yeah, I felt that hardcore. Got elbowed like 2 times in the face in basketball this morning, and I was like, I'm 41. I might have to, maybe maybe tone it down. But yeah, I mean, nothing really new to report, man. Just same old stuff. Huskies are trending up after their awful loss to Creighton, but they're looking tournament ready.
Impressive win the other night, the other day
yeah,
against Seton
yeah,
Hall.
yeah, man, they're tough, man. I love Holloway. I mean, he's a great coach. He's a great coach, and they don't have the money and the stuff to get these players, and he still creates a tough team, and I love that. But yeah, everything's good, man. Everyone's good here, and nothing really crazy to report. Just same old stuff. I'm happy to
Good.
be on here with you guys.
Excellent. Hi, Corey.
Hey, man.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm not breathing fresh air today. That's for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
No, things are relatively okay, but I have been in a spiral since Friday. After seeing Scream 7. I'm not even.
Because you're scared.
No, I'm anything but scared. I'm actually scared.
They butchered your boy, didn't they? They just butchered it.
It's like I'm not gonna get into spoilers and shit, but like mainly because I am just not articulate enough to do so. But they have everything in the palm of their damn hands, right? Like they could write a great story, and a lot of it was very good. And then they just completely shit the bed. Like third act shit the bed. I just can't believe it. But I will say there's going to be a Scream 8. There's going to be. That's already
there is. Of course there will be.
But you'll understand. You'll understand when you see it. I assume you're going to see Scream 7 at some point.
When it's free.
When it's free. It'll be free in a couple months. There's going to be a Scream 8, and I do think they may have set up Scream 8 to be phenomenal. But provided they decide not to shit the bed. That's all they got to do, dude. They just got to do the right thing. That's all. So we'll see. But anyway, I've been in a spiral about that. This weekend, dude, yesterday was gloomy. I was like, eh. And then today I worked. So like it was kind of like a flat week. It's just the weekend kind of,
I thought it started off so promising too. I was like, "You guys had a nice day."
Friday was phenomenal. Yeah, dude, we got couples massages. I never did that before. That was a good time. It was fine.
How was the Kung Fu grip?
What?
The Kung Fu grip.
From Helga. How was Helga?
Yeah, it was great. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Oh my god, you're too deep in your spiral, man, in your head.
Anyway,
Corey, don't let a movie do that to you, buddy.
Yeah.
We also
at least make it a worthwhile movie, like an Oscar contender, not just your run of the mill 7th horror sequel.
Dude, I love Screams 1 through 6. I love them all.
This is like classic addiction, though. You're chasing the first one.
This is what's going to make you drink? After everything that's happened in your life, this is what's going to take you back out, huh, Corey?
I've been out for a long time. You guys just don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to keep. But anyway, we also went to Berry Fresh. You guys love some Berry Fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Berry Fresh. They're so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's good.
I don't know if I know that I've had a better breakfast at other places or like at home, but I've never had like a place that's like that consistently good with breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just phenomenal.
Yeah, that was like the big deal every week.
Yeah, dude, really good. And then
fritters, the little fritters in the
are
bag.
Good.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah. We took a walk around downtown, and then, dude, we checked out that like Stewart Heritage Museum or whatever the hell it's called down there. Sean, you ever been in there?
Yeah, I've been there.
It was interesting to see Stewart back in the old late 1800s and whatnot. But we had a good date day, and then the weekend was just blah. But anyway, I guess I got to be here with you guys, and here we are, 9:17. Planning on writing some inventory tonight and breathing fresh air tomorrow.
Oof, there we go.
There you go. Love it. Love it. Well, all good on
No,
my
I'm
end.
not done. I want to say more, Sean. Actually,
I apologize. I apologize, good sir. Go ahead.
I'm just kidding.
I love it.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That was
You
amazing.
got me. Good for you. After he ignored me all day, guys, I sent him a text at like 8:30 this morning. Crickets. Nothing.
I slept
Nothing.
in.
Negative
Don't
Nothing.
text
spirals.
me.
Negative
All day.
spirals. That's the big
Don't-
negative
listen,
spiral.
Spiraled, yeah.
But here's the
Silence.
thing. Don't. This goes for all of you. Do not text me in the morning with orders. Okay.
It
With
was an order. It was a
It better
request.
be. A request. Don't give me something to do when I open my eyes. Say good morning. How are you, sir? We'll text
I
for a
think
little
I
bit.
did. I think I said good morning, and I even sent you a picture of a sunshine, you miserable F.
How's the weather treating you? Like, whatever.
I sent you a sunshine emoji and said good morning.
I like when people come in firing hot. It wakes me up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You also, there's this thing. I don't know if your inferior iPhone can do it, but my Android can. You can pin the conversation to the top of your text messages. That way, the next 17 times you open your text messages, you'll see it, and it'll remind you to do something. But hey,
Just don't mess
You
it
know.
up because you can't edit it on an Android.
but what do I know? Yeah.
God, that pisses me off, dude.
It makes me so mad. Yeah.
Whenever I'm like, I say duck instead of fuck.
I know. Yeah.
Damn it.
You gotta live with it for the whole day.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, now I gotta put the asterisks. Now what I said is less impactful because I didn't use the well placed F bomb.
Then you gotta correct it, and it loses everything.
Anything else you'd like
Anyway.
to share with the class, Corey?
Yeah, actually, more negativity. Here we go. I don't think I can articulate this well either because I've been on this soapbox before. I went to a recovery group last night. You guys are aware of where I went. Dude, you don't get your text either? Because I sent
What's-
a picture.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. All right.
I was thinking of what
And-
day. I couldn't remember what day today was, and I was like, wait, what was yesterday? I got it.
No.
Yesterday was busy as hell. We were up and out of the house, me and 3 children, including a 6-month-old, at 6:45 a.m. Sophia was part of this like statewide science fair competition called Odyssey of the Mind, which was really cool. I still don't fully understand what it's all about, but essentially it's like one of those think outside the box type deals, like different from traditional learning. There were hundreds and hundreds of people. It was at one of the local high schools. I had to drop her off at 7:15 in the morning with her teachers and the other kids in her little group. And then Grace had a t-ball game. After the t-ball game, back to the school for the competition to catch her second part. She had 2 things she was doing. Really cool thing, man. She was so happy to be a part of it, and like it was really cool seeing her do something again, like totally outside. They had like this Humpty Dumpty skit that they had to do. They had costumes and dress up, and then they had this, I don't even know how to explain it, but essentially they had these wooden stilts that rested on something, and they kept putting weights on it to see how much weight it could hold, and they had to get to like a certain weight, which they did before it crumbled. I don't know. It was a really cool thing. I'm really proud of my children. I don't know, man. Here's really cool. I stood next to a guy named David Peralta at Grace's T-ball game. David Peralta just retired from 12 seasons in Major League Baseball. David Peralta won a Silver Slugger Award, a Gold Glove, like legitimate big league ball player. He's about 6'4" and jacked Venezuelan dude, handsome as can be, I might add, handsome as can be. And I was just talking ball with him, like, and of course I feel like inferior, but I'm like, yeah, I played a little ball growing up, like, da-da-da. And he's like, but a really cool guy. He was a pitcher and he couldn't hack it as a pitcher. So he reinvented himself as an outfielder and was like a lifetime 280 hitter. Like I looked up all his stats, like just a really cool thing. And he's retired and now he's living in good old Martin County, Palm City, Florida with his wife, who's the team mom, and his daughter's on the team. So that was pretty cool, man. And like you look at him and you're like, oh yeah, he was a pro athlete. There's a big difference between him and I, big difference between him and I. So that was cool.
That's awesome though, man. I know that feeling though, man. Like that's awesome, dude. I could just see that. Yeah.
Yeah. felt a little inferior, but not in a bad way. Just like, damn, dude, this
Yeah.
guy really did it, you know. And I'm
Mhm.
telling him like I grew up with a couple of guys that played pro and played in high school. I played with him and against him, and like Manny Machado. I know you know Manny. Like we played against him in high school, and so those are always my things. Like yeah, like I played against Manny Machado, and then I actually Chris Sale, who pitches for the Atlanta Braves now, used to pitch for the Red Sox. He's married to a girl that I dated once in high school. So like there's my
Oh.
claim to fame right there.
Oh, I love it.
There it
That's
is.
awesome.
Shout out to Brianna Aaron, you know.
Oh.
Um anyways, that's it. All good on my end. Played some golf today. Nice quiet family night tonight. Everything's good. Baby's good. Kids are good. Wife is good. Corey, you all right over there?
Yeah, I'm not dead yet. Um, so yeah, we
Meeting etiquette.
yeah, dude.
That's where you left off.
I'm at this recovery group last night. Buddy Kyle speaking. Like I said, one of his better talks, and got to throw that in there for him.
That's so old now, Corey.
Um,
It's so old.
I guarantee you that you will use that in the next 3 weeks. You'll say it. You'll say it to me in the next 3 weeks.
Only
and I'll say,
only in jest to you.
yes, that's what. I'll hang up, Sean. I'll hang up. All right. So listen, I'm at this meeting, and dude, somebody introduces himself, and like the first words out of this girl's mouth is, "I am blessed as fuck. I'm grateful as fuck." And then like just literally goes on an F-bomb tirade, which, you know, it's no secret I can do here, like I kind of just did.
Yeah, but you don't do that in recovery groups. I'll give you
Absolutely
credit for
not.
that. You do not do that in recovery groups.
Absolutely not. And she just went on to say a bunch of nonsense and F-bombs, and it was offensive. And I'm talking to Kyle afterwards, and we're talking about that, and he's like, you know what's crazy is like she has double-digit sobriety, and I was like, it's awful. Like that's not awful. Like I want everybody to have the sobriety they have, of course, but like it's awful to behave like that with that kind of sobriety, because like people might actually like admire, like look up to you and like learn from you. And I mentioned it to Kyle too. I was like, you know, it's not even like her going on that tirade that's so disheartening. It's the fact that like half the room was like supporting it and being like, "Oh fuck yeah, hell yeah!" Like, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, dude, you guys are something else." Like, it's weird, dude. The water, like, I try, guys. I'm showing my faults right now. I'm throwing it out there. I do my, try to do my best to be kind and loving and tolerant, because I knew I was walking into a room that I don't often walk into, because I don't necessarily love personalities and like the way they show through the meeting. But it is so fucking just ridiculous. Like it's just so ridiculous. Like why how did so many people miss the boat? I will say there was a couple good shares and whatever, and like some people are seem to be doing what we're supposed to be doing. But man, there's a lot that's just like you guys got the wrong idea, man. I think maybe they think that I'm wrong, you know, but like I don't.
Well, I think a lot of those people would be like, you know, we're just living our best life and like don't judge
Yeah,
us and like
lighten up, like
all that stuff. Yeah, like we've come from the pits of hell. If we want to cuss, we can cuss, which you know me, I'm not on that train either. I think that stuff should be cleaned up along with the rest of a part of our lives, but you know,
Yeah.
I think in
I
those kind of, go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
no, you're good. Go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say, like in those kind of situations, I kind of remind myself of a couple things. Number one, setting is very important sometimes, you know, and sometimes it's a reminder, kind of Corey, like you were saying, is like the kind of setting that I don't want to place myself in. You know, maybe I want to go somewhere else instead, or maybe I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and that's not up to me a lot of the time, right? But also too, for that individual, number one, what what's going on in your life that you have to put on that front for people, right? And try to, You know, do you think it's funny? Do you think it's endearing? Do you think that you're going to win the hearts and minds of the people in the room like that? Or, you know, maybe more importantly, like what's going on in your life that you're manifesting whatever it is going on in here outwardly like that, you know, and maybe take a good, long, hard look at that. Hopefully you got some people around you that will help you to do that, or at least call you out on that kind of behavior.
I mean, I think setting, like you said, Greg, setting's important because if that person or people like it go to let's say they get invited to somebody else's recovery meeting at a different location that they've never been to, I guarantee you they don't act like that. I
Yeah,
guarantee it, right?
I was just gonna say that, dude. It's the, I mean, you know what I mean. I'm sure for Greg it was kind of the same. Is that what we kind of say grew up in, you know, and the way that we learn things is not the same as everyone else.
Right.
And the first thing
Very
coming
true.
here, you know, and still to this day, when I go to recovery meetings around here, you know, it's way different. They say lots of words that I was told to never say. They're saying lots, you know what I mean? So, well, but I had to learn, like Corey's saying that he's up, like, I had to learn that, like, if I leave the meeting and I feel worse, I probably won't go back to that meeting that week. I will try somewhere else. I will go back eventually because it's not on me to judge somebody on the way that how they are, you know what I mean, and how they act like I am better than, you know what I mean, that I just didn't get something from that place that day. You know, it really, like, honestly, dude, like coming here is like a whole revelation because it was kind of like a bubble that we were wrapped in with ourselves, and we did this one way. And it was like a whole, like, to me, it was like a total turn off. Like when I first came here, like a big shock value factor. Like, you know, these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. I need to show them how to do it. You know what I mean? Like you get that within you, and that's what you want to share is like this is the way it has, but it's like, that's not on me. You know what I mean? Like I'm coming here and I can share and I can do my thing, but it's like, to me, it's like a baseball team. You have captains for a reason. So a home group has leaders for a reason. And that home group and those leaders should be the ones that are setting the example. Like Sean says, water seeks its own level. Like if you're creating a culture, like a team in that meeting for this certain way of recovery or the certain way that it's supposed to be, then that's usually kind of what it will be. And like Sean just said, if they go somewhere else, they won't act like that. It's because someone's setting the water level here, and that's why they're seeking that level.
And
Greg, you experienced some of that when you moved back to Ohio, where Dan was just
Yeah.
saying about how different the recovery groups were from
It's
here.
different, you know. And one thing I will say up here, I've noticed too is the fellowship part of it is a lot different. Now, I do my best a lot of times to stick to literature based meetings for these exact problems because although I've been in some of those that have gotten a little bit wonky, a little bit crazy, the tendency to stray from what the literature talks about is, you know, it doesn't happen as much in those type of meetings. However, one thing I'll say about the fellowship that's vastly different than it is in Florida is it isn't like the, hey, you guys want to all go to Flanagan's after this and grab some.
Yeah.
It's
Where's
like,
Denny's at?
dude, no, people like, hey, I got a family to get home to. That's where I'm going. I'm going home to my family, and like, which is fine. Like I'm not, you know, saying, but it is very different, and the bubble gets burst when you go and you got it. But it's cool though, in my opinion, because at first, while I was a little apprehensive towards that, I realized like it just made me get out of my comfort zone and seek out people, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Just don't do speaker meetings.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble, baby.
Wild. I was just a wild one.
They all are, man. No matter, even down here, they're a gamble down here. I go to a speaker meet. I go to a speaker based recovery group on Saturday nights, most Saturdays, and I have for like the last 4 or 5 weeks in a row. I miss here and there, and the last like 3 out of 4 weeks, the speaker's been phenomenal, phenomenal. And I'll say this: I won't say which week it was because I think they might potentially listen to this show, but one of those weeks in the last 4 was like, and you never know what you're gonna get, you know, and that's why I never like to know who is speaking at a speaker meeting before I go.
because you
Not
won't
that
go,
I would
right?
ever, huh?
Because you won't go if
No,
you-
I was just gonna say, not because I've never. I'm proud to say I've never like not gone to a meeting because that I was planning on going to because I heard who the speaker was. But even just that that frame of mind beforehand, like, this person
Yeah.
again or this whatever. I like to be completely surprised, but speaker meetings are a gamble for sure.
And so, not to dwell on this too much longer, but
No, it's
I
actually a
do
good
think
it's actually a good topic.
it is, and it's important. And so I will say, so for one, while talking, I mean, we went full circle, me and Kyle outside with this whole thing, and um, for one, I said like one of the biggest problems is mentorship, right? Like good
Every
mentorship,
problem in our fellowship could be solved by good mentorship.
right? And because I said, I was like, I got to be honest with you, I don't even know what like Sean's reaction would be if I just dropped that share. He might actually grip me up by my neck, like. I don't. Not really, but you know what I mean. Like, I think you would be way more than appalled, right?
We'd be talking after.
Like for sure.
What the captain does.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I've gotten those kind of talks for much less, to be honest. Like, it's just so like blatantly disrespectful, in my opinion. And I will say too that, like Dan, you were talking about, like, um, it's not always fair to like I just said, like I didn't love walking into that room anyway. I already have a ton of preconceived notions of that room in particular. But I've also had a lot of the same judgments of a meeting on Wednesday nights. And I was there this past Wednesday. I was also asked to do the lead in. But besides that, there was some really, really good shares in the room that night. And like when somebody would raise their hand and I would immediately judge them like off of looks or something, like, oh, this one's new or in halfway, like, oh my God, here we go.
All
like,
two-finger Barney coming in here.
Yeah, right. There was actually, they actually surprised me with like really good solution-based shares. So like sometimes I just need to shut the hell up and just let everybody live and do that. Dude, but like,
100%,
you know,
100%, man.
There is a component of live and let live to all of it, but at the same time, though, like Dan, you already touched on it. Our leaders are trusted servants we don't govern. But it's very, very clear that our groups have to have leaders. Very, very clear that our groups have to have leaders. Do you guys remember when, you guys remember when, what's his name threatened to murder me because I asked him to stop swearing in our Monday night recovery group? Do you guys remember that?
You mentioned it. I didn't see it firsthand.
Remember that,
I'll tell you a quick. I'll tell you. All right, this is actually a pretty good one. I won't name him because him and I have since reconciled many, many times, and he doesn't live here anymore. But I still talk with him every now and then. Actually, Corey, when I was doing, I don't want to say what service position, but like when I was in a service position some years ago, helping people get connected that leave treatment, getting them connected with, recovery. I somehow he had one for me and he contacted our services and anyways, but he was an older gentleman. He had some years of sobriety. I think he relapsed years later, but whatever. At this point, he had multiple years, and he was definitely a loud personality. Not even always in a bad way, but he had the ability.
Sometimes.
Huh?
He was a lot of times he was very funny.
Yes, but he was also one of those that like he was always trying to be funny, which gets a little tired sometimes. Like you don't always have to be, but whatever. And he kept swearing in our Monday night meeting, and we had just had a business meeting about this specific thing and how like, we in our format we asked people not to, swear and all that stuff and watch their language. And I had already spoken to him, I think 2 times one-on-one about this, and he goes off in a meeting, and here's where I was at fault. I basically threw my hand up. I don't think it was right after he shared, but it was maybe a little while later. And I said, and I think I specifically didn't do it right after he shared, so it wasn't as blatantly obvious that I was talking about him. But a few shares later, I was like, hey, this group, we know whatever, we don't like the swearing. Please, eliminate whatever. I said something along those lines. You could tell that it was him, that I was talking to him, but whatever. So the next morning, I'll never forget. My wife remembers this. We weren't married at the time. I'm in the car with Catherine, and do you remember Tom Frey? Shout out to Tom Frey, dude. He was like 18 years old. Remember, he was like from Boston, whatever. He's doing great, by the way. He's married. He runs a treatment center now. All this stuff. He's sober many years, but in the car, and I get this text from this guy, and I'm not kidding you. It was like, you mother effer, don't you dare ever call me out like that in a meeting again. I'll blow your fucking head off. I swear to God, in the text message, I'll blow your fucking head off. You blah, 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 this, and that, whatever, whatever. And then he said something like, this is my least favorite line from these people is, oh, we've all the hell we've been through, and what, you're scared of a little swearing in our meetings? Like, because of where we've been and the dirt we've done, it's okay to still be that street animal, whatever. And like, this was at a time where I had fully dove into Emmett Fox and all his stuff, and I was like on some Emmett Fox stuff these days. And I didn't respond, and for the entire day I prayed for this man, like just silent. I don't even think I told Catherine and Tom what happened, like that message. I just prayed for him all day, all day, all day, all day, all day, all day. I think I told Catherine that night. The next morning, hadn't said a word to him. The next morning, another text. I just want to apologize, man. I was way out of line. I talked to my sponsor, and you're right. I shouldn't be swearing like that. We have to set the example. I'm so sorry. I lost my temper, blah, blah, blah. And like, but it was wild. But like, he literally was like, I'm going to blow your fucking head off, dude. It was
You
like,
know,
whoa.
Sean, what he doesn't realize is that you would have asserted divine authority over the bullet.
Well, I
and
would have used the force.
redirected it.
Absolutely.
Redirected it at him.
100%. Yeah.
Right.
But no, that was wild. But yeah.
Then turn the bullet
Yeah.
to him and be like, "Here, you want it fucking back?"
It's so, but like, yeah, that's funny. But I go back to the mountain, right? No barnyard, man. Come on,
Yeah.
we're better than that.
Yeah.
We don't have to, leave the
Yeah.
street language on the street. And shout out to Mitch. Remember Rhonda and Mitch, Motorcycle Mitch?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He used to always say, he still might say it, he's still alive, but he would say, no one has ever been offended by the lack of profanity. And
Yeah.
like that always got me good. That
Yeah.
always got me good.
Absolutely.
It's just, dude, and like, I'm not that rigid either. Like, if it's a well placed, well placed F bomb, and it's like once, like, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Like, just like nobody's freaking out about you talking about a certain substance or something just briefly
Right.
or something. Like, nobody's gonna flip out. But like, there's such a line, and it's unfortunate that, like, I mean, our landscape of recovery around here has changed a lot anyway, I think. Still very good. There's obviously the pockets where it's really good, I think. I think Tuesday nights are phenomenal, which is why I'm there. And that's fine. But, it's just, but like I said, to wrap it up, for at least on my end, I need to not bitch so much and just get out there and try and help it. So
It's just so hard, dude, because it feels like when people like talk like that, like, 'cause, like, for us, like a certain way, you can only come up through the recovery meetings how you came up through the recovery meetings. You can't understand how
right.
other people came up through the recovery meetings.
Yep.
Like, to me, like, it was like serious stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it was like you were in
Our life is on the line.
Yeah, this is like a corporate dinner. I'm on my best behavior. I'm looking for points from Sean or whoever and stuff like that. What can I do better? Like at Brian's. You know what I mean? I didn't share for 8 months. I just sat there. You know what I mean? Because I was like, it's just like there's that level, but it's just, but like when you see it, like if I had a nickel for every time somebody mentioned the word Suboxone or identified as two things at every single meeting that I've been to in Ohio, you know what I mean? I'd be a multimillionaire right now.
Mhm.
And like down in Florida, absolutely not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Never. And I was taught that early on by somebody. It's just like, identifying as two things, like stuff like that, man, where it's just like what are you being taught that's so, you know what I mean? Making like just certain little things that it's like mentorship, making yourself special, like all that.
now we just find out that people have been on kratom for like God knows how long these days.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I was
it's changed a lot, dude. Like,
That's what, dude. I didn't even know that was like a drug thing because like it's at the mart in the gas station. So I thought it was just like some
It
weird,
is here, too.
crazy, like some weird, crazy like energy thing or something like that. But I was like, I don't know. I was like, pretty much gas stations are like head shops now.
Yeah,
What about that? What
There's
about
that.
that horny goat weed, huh, Greg? You know
Oh
about
yeah,
that
that'll
horny
get you.
goat
That'll
weed,
get you
Greg?
going, boy. That'll get you going.
Bill
Might run
used to
through a
share
couple
about that.
walls,
Remember
boy.
the stacker twos and all that?
Oh yeah. Oh
is
yeah.
that what that is?
Well, the stacker twos are like that's like an energy thing.
Yeah.
The horny goat weed's a dick thing, Corey.
Yeah,
A dick thing.
a penal thing, Corey.
But no, I think
You know-
the whole basis of this It just goes down to like causes and conditions, right? Just like our literature talks about, is like with this, the whole goal of this thing certainly is to stop drinking, to stop using drugs, but that is just the very surface that we're scratching at. And what we're really getting down to is what's going on inside of us. And the goal for all this is to become better human beings, to become less childish, less selfish, less of a wrecking ball to those people around us, and to in a sense grow up and become worthwhile humans, and people that other people can depend on and rely on and go to for advice and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, sometimes it takes a good long time for people to get that and understand that. And
Well, and it's a good segue like into that whole meeting etiquette topic. Like we've talked about it, I think, on this podcast, and you guys know, and you know, there's certain things that we were taught when we first got to our recovery groups, right? Don't get up and down 8 times in a meeting. Don't walk in front of a speaker. Ron's famous thing to me that I always joke about was like, "Son, why are you getting up so much?" "Well, I just want more coffee, Ron." And he would say, "Well, bring a bigger cup." Stuff
I love,
stuff like that. But
and don't block the damn door.
don't block the door. Yeah,
Try being
the
on
door.
time. Try being on time.
all that stuff. And it is. And I don't know if it's Dan, whoever said it earlier, but I think it was Dan. Those people, they're only doing it the way they were taught or what they've seen other people, how they've seen other people act. So, pausing for a second on all of it, how important it is for us, and I don't just mean the four of us, but us who are recovered or on our way to being recovered, or really working on recovering, like whatever, to set that example for the newer person, for the impressionable people. And unfortunately, a lot of recovery groups don't have that example being set. But I go back to what we said earlier, like all the problems of our fellowship could, in theory, be solved by good mentorship, right?
I have a question, Sean.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to
No,
interrupt.
that's all. That was it.
I just thought of something, and I just what's your take on this? What if a group put in their format, we ask that you not only silent your cell phones but stay off of them as well?
Uh, well, if I mean, so totally okay. Like a group can put that in their format all they want. You can't like. Are you really
You can't
prepared to
force
like
that.
throw people
Police
out that
that,
don't
yeah.
follow it?
No,
yeah,
not
I
at
was,
all.
I
Not
was
at
gonna
all. But
say,
say
yeah,
it.
I feel like if
No,
you
right. Papa Ron used to do that at his Wednesday night meeting. If somebody got like, he would say very specifically, like, stay off. I forget the exact, but it was something along the lines of stay off your damn phone for this hour. It might just be the most important hour of your life. Like,
I was just gonna say, yeah, like if someone's phone goes off, then I would come up to them outside of the meeting and tell them that same thing, and not make, you know what I mean? I feel like in a meeting, like you shouldn't have to say that. That's kind of like
yeah,
that. But yeah, I get it. I get it.
here's one of the problems now, though, at our local recovery building that you guys used to frequent when you lived here, is there's one halfway house in particular. They have like he has like the guy owns like 6 or 8 houses, and like one or two of them are specifically for mental health people because it's not just a halfway house anymore. They take insurance, they partner with drug court, mental health court, which is really and truly like a fantastic thing. Don't get me wrong, that there's a place for these people, these young men that can go that yes, they have drug problems, yes, they have mental health, they have co-occurring, but like they deserve a chance to get well too. But the part of the problem is it's mandatory that they go to the 7 p.m. recovery group every single day of the week. And what happens is they sit in the same spot. I will give them credit. They don't bother anyone, so that's good. But they all sit back there on their phones with their headphones or their earbuds in, just face buried in their phones. Again, they're not bothering anyone. They're not sharing, but part of the problem with that is that other people are seeing that
Yeah,
too,
the eyesight. Yeah, all the yep.
you know? And no one is coming with them. It doesn't appear, anyways, maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't appear that anyone is like telling those guys, hey, for the hour of this meeting, put the phone away, turn it off, put the earbuds away, you know, like listen, you know.
I'm like split on the topic of like mandatory meetings or groups anyway. Like when you're in a facility, when you're in a halfway house, like, oh, you have to go to this. I think it's good and bad. Like you might get somebody in the door that needs to be there and like their eyes open because of something they heard and they had to be there. But like I think the majority of the time you just are forcing people to be somewhere where they have no interest in being. You
Yeah,
know.
but
I personally,
go ahead, Dan.
yeah, I would say I personally, no matter what, think it's good because if you get 1 out of 6,000, it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the opposite though is like, but then if you have a halfway house that isn't making their clients go to meetings every day, then what is it? Then like you're doing them a
Then they're doing
disservice there
nothing.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think though, to your point, Corey, is some of these halfway houses, again, they make them go to the 7 p.m. at the same meeting location every single night.
Right.
If it's possible, I know logistically with like vans and drivers and whatever distance, maybe not, but like switch it up. Go to different
Yeah.
meetings, have them go to different meetings on different days of the week, different times, even if it's the same meeting hall, different times. Um,
Well, and we've all
let
mentored.
them go to their own, let them pick their meeting, which a lot of them do eventually. They're allowed to switch out certain meetings and go to them and whatever. But
That's my complaint with that is like I'm sure we've probably mentored people that have been in that kind of situation, and it's like, hey, well, like now it's like come to the Tuesday night group that I go to. It's great. It's literature based. It's solution based. Like you'll love it. Like it'll be great. Oh, I can't. I have to do this
right,
group for the next 90
Yeah.
days. It's like,
Yeah.
well, all right, great. So you're gonna hear probably 90% bullshit like
Yeah.
in that meeting because everybody's new, like
Yeah, I hate that part of it, man, because that shit should be. That's you know what I mean. I mean, obviously, I know it's a money scheme, and you know what I mean. Everyone's making money, but like, as a owner of something like that, like, you should have a little bit of a personal investment in the people's
right.
future to know what's best.
Well,
I
and
agree.
I can speak to the point too of because I dealt with this, especially too when I was working for the treatment center I was in Florida, and then we expanded to Delaware. In Delaware, there was a lot of mental health, and like we had a gentleman in one of our sober living houses and going to that was schizophrenic, and there was it's honestly probably one of the reasons and one of the factors why I'm not working for that institution anymore. And I've never had anything, certainly not publicly negative to say about them. They were a good bunch of people, very well intentioned bunch of people, and they helped a lot of people. So, but we butted heads on this, man, because it was like this dude. And I spent a lot of hours sitting out on the back porch, like talking this dude off of a ledge because he couldn't reconcile what was going on in his mind. And none of us could because we aren't
Right.
those kind of
We're
people.
not
You know what I'm
equipped.
saying? We are
Yeah.
not equipped. And that's the thing is we're telling this guy to go to recovery groups and to live in this house with people that are not at all like him. And because of that, unfortunately, it's just the way that the world shakes out. He was kind of pushed to the side within the house because these guys, like, they're not bad guys, they're just
Mm.
dudes trying to recover, but they don't understand him. They don't understand the kind of stuff that goes on in his mind. And unfortunately, it wasn't just the kind of situation where just meds was going to fix it. Like, this dude needed help. um we weren't helping him,
Right.
at all, in my opinion. And I got fought tooth and nail on that one from clinical, because that was the other thing in Delaware is that they didn't really, it was very much, hey, what happens within this office is the framework of clinical. It doesn't matter to us where he lives when he leaves here, but it's like, well, we own the sober living house. We are in charge of all these people and responsible for all these people
Yeah.
when they're at home. And yeah, it was, so it's just, it is rough, especially when you start mixing those two, because again, it's like, that's the whole basis of this recovery program that we work, is identification. And if somebody doesn't truly identify, but they're sitting in, it's one of those kind of situations where I feel like people aren't getting better, they're getting worse doing that, when they're just, they're sitting in, they're being forced to go to these meetings they don't really belong in, but they've got to go in order to keep the roof over their head. Yeah, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a super hard personal investment on all sides. You know what I mean? Because like you notice like these big conglomerates or whatever, or even anybody, man, in general, to like create that separation and see to this guy needs this to do this. You know what I mean? That's where like it could get better is if there was more investment and money put towards that besides into people's pockets to get rich, where we could actually invest money
For
in
sure.
like house managers and stuff like that, to where like this guy needs X and we can actually give him X and not just
Mhm.
say everybody gets Y and that's it. You know, like I
Right.
just feel it. But I mean, that's also, I'm talking from, I've never done it. You know what I mean? I don't have the money to do it. And, I'm not living in a situation where that is feasible, but in a perfect world situation, obviously, you know what I mean? What everyone needs to, because like one of the most powerful things that was told to me, like we were all just talking about, is like, cool, you haven't drank in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever, so now that you're done drinking, now what?
Yeah.
And that was like such a powerful statement to me because I thought all I had to do was stop drinking, so it's like, what we're talking about, like
And
leading
then
by
they're like, no,
example.
now the real work begins.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, what are you
Mhm.
talking about? I don't know, what are you talking about? I want to go climb towers again, man. I'm good.
Hey, so real quick, actually, on this topic, Dan and Greg, and I'll start with you, Dan, since you were talking. Did you can you guys share a little bit of your experience of how either difficult, easy, or both it was when you moved back and like left Florida and got back, like getting involved and the struggles maybe of getting involved in recovery up there in Ohio and
Yeah.
finding new groups? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, it was. I mean, so I got my first job through that. You know what I mean? And for the first 3 months I lived here, I didn't have a job, so I was like going to a lot of meetings and stuff like that. But dude, I'll never forget it. The first meeting I went to, I was about to just quit recovery meetings because it was so outlandish and ridiculous. I was just like, dude, I might just have to go back to Florida. I don't know what's going on here. This is like what I mean, insanity, man. You know what I mean? Like just totally like, yeah, I can't. It was like so wild. But then, like over time, I don't know if you guys remember our buddy Jan. You remember Jan?
Yeah, Jan
Yeah,
Michael.
yeah. So Jan was here like 20 minutes away when I was up here, and me and him started meeting and reading our literature together and stuff like that. And it kind of gave like me a more like I just started bouncing around, man. You know what I mean? And then I found this morning group of old timers. Oh, big shocker! To just like this morning group of old timers
Yeah.
at this one place, and it was pretty normal. And everyone was pretty chill and stuff like that. Now I don't live near there, but yeah, I mean, for me, it was just about like I was so judge. I was the problem. You know what I mean? It really was like moving here. I was the problem because I was judging everything based on a Florida basis. Also, like I said, the stress and weight of I didn't have a job, trying to figure out life. Me and Alyssa are living in her mom's house, sleeping in her brother's room while she's pregnant, and like we got all these things going on. And I was like, go to this meeting, and I was like, you guys all suck. I don't want to. This is what's happening right now. But that's just like being real with it. It's like that's like literally what was going through my head because I was taught a certain way, and it's like, how dare these people are talking like this? Like, I'm not going to get anything out of this. And I forgot who said it to me. It was like, you're going to get out of it what you want to get out of it, and that kind of like hit me because I forgot who I was talking to. But yeah, I mean, just that, and that's it. And it's really just been bouncing around. You know what I mean? It's not the same. I got this little place that's right by me. That's, you know what I mean, all the time for me. But a lot of bouncing around because there's not like Greg said, there's not that, where you go to Denny's afterwards and that, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
kind of like you go there. But
Yeah.
yeah, at first it was, but it was a me problem. At first it was just super judgmental. I mean, super
Yeah.
judgmental.
Can I comment real quick?
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Dan, what you were just saying, dude, about like how like being judgmental or whatever, it goes in line with like everything that we've been talking about so far, and starting with like I was talking about the group I went to last night. I could be in like the world's greatest group too, and if I'm not in a good spot or something, like I'll judge myself out of that room
Good
just as
point.
quick as anything too. So that's you're right. It starts with us no matter what, for sure. But also don't say the F word 16 times in a share. Just saying.
True.
So,
True.
anyway,
Greg, what
14
about
point, 14.5.
Greg? What about you when you moved back to Ohio? How was it tough? How was
Yeah,
it? I know
so
you,
I moved back in December of 2019, and oh, what it is to be a newcomer again, almost, because it's totally different, and the bubble bursts, um, it was definitely a culture shock. Like we talked about, the fellowship aspect of it was different. Even there'd be times too where, people didn't recognize me. I was brand new to the meeting. And then I'd say, they come up afterwards or whatever, like, how long you got or whatever. And I'm like, I've been sober about 4 years now or whatever. And they're looking at me like, giving me a weird look like, yeah, dude, I did not roll in here. I don't think I look like I rolled in here off the streets or out of a rehab bus or whatever, but it was different. I've always tried to stick close to literature based meetings, but there was certainly a trial and error process of trying to find good meetings around the area. Thankfully, I could throw a rock essentially to where our program of recovery originally started. There's a lot of rich history here, and there's a lot of really great meetings. You do have to seek them out, and sometimes you gotta wade through some apples you wouldn't normally eat, so
Yeah.
but that's kind of been a fun adventure, like I would show up. I'll tell you what, one of the funnest ones early in sobriety is I showed up. I was literally the only white guy in the room, and it was like being at like a Southern Baptist church service. It was awesome,
Remember the Vegas
Why?
meeting?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Yeah, the Vegas meeting.
That was
Yeah.
popping.
Slim Mike
So-
or whatever his name was. That's Corey. That was
Yeah.
it was wild,
That
bro.
was amazing.
I wasn't invited.
We know. We
Uh,
know.
but no, I had I had to search it out, and I found a good clubhouse, where I was living before I moved in with my fiance. That had a really, really great. It reminded me of the clubhouse in Florida, the meeting hall in Florida, where there's meetings all day long. Couple really good groups there throughout the week, and I enjoyed that. I did try to frequent some young people's meetings just to see if I can, kind of ingratiate myself with that community, maybe find some people that needed some help. No big shock. Those young people meetings are very, very similar to the young people meetings in Florida. So there was that, but definitely it is cool when you see those and see the younger people that are on fire for it, and it reminds you of what it was like when we all kind of first started. So that was really cool. But yeah, COVID hit. And when COVID hit, a lot of that stuff went to Zoom, as you guys all well know, and clubhouses were shut down and people weren't allowed to congregate as much in one space or whatever the case may be. And it was really, we didn't, I don't think, Dan Reed in Ohio, we didn't really experience like a lot of crazy mandatory stuff. I know Florida was like the Wild Wild West and nothing happened, down there, but it certainly wasn't like some places in the country where it was like, you will go to your house, you have a curfew, and and you need to show your papers to be in the street. And
that morning meeting I was talking about, as long as you wore a mask, it was all good the whole time.
They were cool.
They still met in person.
It kind of like trickled. It happened at first where they were like, okay, we're going to do everything by Zoom, and then slowly but surely. But yeah, that threw everything for a loop, man. I feel like people were just kind of a little bit more closed off to one another during that time, and so it was a little tough. And I think during that time, I was still in touch daily with most of you guys from Florida. I would catch a meeting here or there, but I kind of like had a period of time where I was like, I got this, I'm good, and I noticed that something was gravely missing in my life. And it wasn't like, I didn't feel like I was going to run out and drink and run out and get high, but I could definitely tell like that interpersonal, with one-on-one with another alcoholic, that was missing, big time. And just, the fellowship, the being together in a meeting, talking about this stuff, running through literature, running through, the different stuff that we talk about. It was missing, and so I'm glad that I kind of dove full on back into that and didn't try to self-will it myself the whole way through,
Greg, I got two things. Dude, I went to a couple meetings. Did you ever walk into a meeting and it was legit like two people?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I know
Yeah.
there's a small one that walked in and I was like, I don't know what's about to happen in here.
Well,
This
and
is
then it was like it was two older dudes that I felt like they were like, man, like they were so excited to see me. So I'm like,
yeah,
well, now I can't
yeah,
leave. You
Either
know?
yeah.
way,
Now I
you
gotta
can't
That
you
ex-
can't be the guy to be like, hey, you guys just want to leave. Like,
yeah. Well,
right.
you
Right.
can't say that.
the excited face is kind of risky though. You're like, what's the excitement for here right now? It's like, do I need to walk out these doors? What's happening right now, man?
Yeah. But there's some a lot of weird meetings nowadays. That would be the least of them. So I'm cool with the two old guys. I'll go chill with them. But
Yeah, and I'm curious too, because like up there, it's just different from down here, man. I mean, honestly, like pretty much every meet, like one thing that I tried because they were so like awful from my judgment, you know what I mean? They were so awful. I tried another fellowship, and I went to one of those meetings. I was like, all right, no, I was in the
I'm
right, I
coming
was in the
back.
right place. Yeah, we're good. But I had to dabble, you know what I mean? Because I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is bad. I was like, let me try this out. And I walked in and I looked around and I was like, okay, all right. And then they started going,
Mhm.
and I was like, all right, yeah, we're going back. We're good.
Yep.
We're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Those
Yeah.
those can get a little out of control, man.
Yeah, but no, but seriously, I mean, a lot of the, the correlation, alcohol, drugs, all that, and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty normalized. I don't how is it up there? Is the same thing like in the same recovery meetings? I've
As
heard,
far as
like
what?
them talking about both.
Yeah, I mean, I think now there are some like if you head down towards Akron
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you get into like a literature based meeting with a good amount of old timers,
Mhm.
they are absolutely like they'll shut that down no
Yeah,
problem. You know,
yeah. Not here, man.
um,
It just goes.
I go back and forth on it, man. I know that what our literature talks about. I know what our primary purpose is. I
Yeah,
know all that. Um, but I at least what I try to do is I try to remember that I was once somebody that didn't know
hmm,
my ass from a hole in the ground, and that maybe I just needed to be taught the way, and like we've mentioned, Sean's mentioned a couple, we are who we are essentially growing up around. So
yeah.
maybe they just need to be shown the right way. But
That's
yeah,
just
there are certainly some meetings like that. Yeah.
I
well,
like to accentuate what I identify as. I make sure that's like italics text.
Ugh,
well,
yeah.
a lot of people, at least I was under the impression at one point, is that like, oh, I'll get yelled at in this group because if I talk about heroin or crack or something, I'm gonna get yelled at because they just don't like to hear it. Like it's hard on their ears or something. And to your point, Greg, like somebody needed to inform me, which it happened eventually, but somebody needed to inform me, like, hey, like, okay, so you identify with like the heroin addict or whatever, but say you came to a room where you thought that everybody was recovered from heroin addiction and people started talking about gambling. Wouldn't you be a little upset that like you're not getting the message that you need, that
Right.
that group was intended to be there
Right.
for? You know what I mean? And because that goes along with like meeting etiquette too, and everything we're
Mhm.
talking about. Like, if I'm in a group full of people for one intended purpose, meaning like we're helping alcoholics to recover, or maybe I'm in a group where we're helping drug addicts to recover, whatever group I'm in. Like, I
Mhm.
kind of need to stick along those lines for that reason. Like, it's not about people getting offended. It's just about helping the person that is scared in the
Well,
back of the room.
yeah, helping and also too is I've always looked at it this way too because we're trash cans, right? It don't matter what you throw at us, like we'll get addicted to it, in some way, shape, or form, and I'll misuse it and all this, that, and the other. But yeah, if I'm talking about shoving a needle in my arm in a meeting where a soccer mom who is an alcoholic, right, but she's there in her first week or whatever, and I scare her away and she never comes back and she never gets this because all I wanted to do was jerk my own chain about about stuff that doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yep.
I'm not doing my job.
Yep. I think that specific topic is something that I think we'll probably explore. I think we have a little bit on this podcast, but we can explore that down the road a little bit too. So guys, I have I hesitate to say surprise, but it's not really like a surprise, but I have something that I want to read that my wife shared with me the other day that had me in tears, and her as well. It's about recovery. You guys may have already heard this because it was on the socials, and I'm not, obviously, and she passed it to me. But if you haven't, it's a decently long read. It's not terribly long. It'll take me a few minutes, but I want to read it, and I want to try to figure out how we can maybe post it as a clip. It's unfortunately I haven't been able to get it to fit on one page yet, but it's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. The message behind it is, God, it brought me to tears. So, and if you've heard it, just bear with me. But it says, I'm a tattoo artist. I own a small shop. Yesterday, a woman walked in at 4 p.m., no appointment, asked if I could squeeze her in. What do you want? I asked. She showed me a photo on her phone. Numbers, just numbers. 392 on my wrist. Simple, black. Can you do it now? I looked at her. She'd been crying, eyes red, hands shaking. Yeah, I can do it, but can I ask what 392 means? She sat down in my chair, took a breath. Oh, I'm going to start crying. It's the number of days my daughter stayed clean before she overdosed. I found her yesterday. I want to remember she tried, that 392 days mattered. I didn't know what to say. I just nodded, started setting up. She kept talking. She needed to talk. Everyone's going to say she relapsed, that she failed. The addicts always relapse, but they won't say she was sober for 392 days. That she went to meetings, got a job, started painting again, that she was my daughter again for 392 days. They'll remember one day, the last day, but I'm going to remember 392. Her voice broke. This tattoo is proof these days existed. That she fought, that she almost made it. I finished the tattoo, simple numbers, 392 on her wrist, where she could see it every day. She paid, tipped way too much, started to leave, then turned back. She said, "Can I ask you something weird?" "Anything," I said. "Can you keep that stencil, the 392? And if anyone comes in here struggling with addiction or losing someone to addiction, can you offer to do this tattoo for free? Any number, however many days their person stayed clean. 10 days, 100 day, 1 day, I don't care. Just so they know these days counted." She left before I could answer. I kept the 392 stencil, put it in a frame behind my counter, wrote under it, "Days of sobriety tattoos, always free. Any number, because every day counts." I didn't think anybody would take me up on it. 3 days later, a man came in, saw the sign, and he started crying. "Can you do 1,279? "Absolutely. Who's it for?" "My brother. He was sober for 1,279 days. He died in a car accident last week. Sober driver hit by a drunk driver. The irony is killing me. He fought so hard and some stranger took him out. I did the tattoo for free. He hugged me for 5 minutes. Word spread. I've done 23 sobriety number tattoos in 3 weeks. Free. Every single one. 47 days, 6 days, 1,800 days, 2 days. One woman got 14 hours tattooed. My son stayed clean for 14 hours before he relapsed and died. Everyone says 14 hours doesn't count, but it does. He tried. For 14 hours, he tried. I tattooed 14 hours on her shoulder. She sobbed the entire time. When I finished, she looked at it and whispered, "Now everyone will know he tried." Yesterday, someone came in and asked for 0 days. I was confused. 0? He nodded. My daughter never got clean. She tried to quit so many times, went to rehab 4 times, but never made it past a few hours before using again. She died at 23 years old. Everyone says she didn't try, but she did. She tried so hard. 0 days sober, but a million attempts. Can you tattoo a 0 with a little infinity symbol? Because her attempts were infinite, even if her days weren't. I cried while doing the tattoo. 0 with an infinity symbol for a girl who never stopped trying, even though she never succeeded. A teenager came in 2 days ago, 17 years old, with his dad. Can you do 91 days for me? I'm 91 days sober. I want to remember. I looked at his dad. His dad nodded. He asked for this. I'm proud of him. I did the tattoo. 91 on his forearm. When I finished, the kid stared at it. Now when I want to use, I'll see this. I'll remember I made it to 91. I can make it to 92. His dad paid, tipped me $200. You're saving lives with ink, he said. Keep doing this. The kid comes back every 30 days. I add a small tally mark next to his 91. He's up to 151 days now, 5 tally marks. He just might make it. The original woman came back yesterday, the 392. I want to show you something, she said. She pulled up her sleeve. Another number. 1. Just the number 1. What's that for? I asked. She smiled through tears. 1 year since my daughter died. 1 year I've survived without her. Someone told me I should get a tattoo for my own sobriety, from grief, from giving up. I've been sober from ending my own life for 1 year because of this. She pointed to 392. Every time I wanted to give up, I looked at this. If I could fight for 392 days, I could fight for one more. So I'm marking my days now. 1 year, 365 days of choosing to stay. The tattoo artist, I have a wall now. Photos of every sobriety number tattoo I've done. 47 tattoos in 2 months. Numbers ranging from 14 hours to over 6,000 days. Every single one for free. Every single one a story of someone who tried, who fought, who stayed clean for as long as they could. Some made it, some didn't. But every number matters. Because addiction isn't about the day someone relapses. It's about all the days they didn't. And those days deserve to be remembered, marked, honored. I started this because a grieving mother asked me to remember 392 days. Now I'm remembering hundreds of days, thousands of days, marking them in ink on the skin of people who refuse to forget. Every number tells me the same thing. Trying counts. Fighting counts. Even if you lose, the fight counted. I'm a tattoo artist, but these aren't just tattoos, they're monuments. Proof that someone tried, and in a world that only remembers the last day, I'm making sure we remember all the days before it. The end.
Whew.
Yeah. Have you guys heard that yet?
No.
I
that was-
read it.
Then that.
the other day.
Unbelievable.
How many people have we known, man?
There's still fucking a lot of really good people out in the world,
Oh,
even though it doesn't
100%.
always seem like it.
Well, you just don't hear it, man. There is, like, you experience it. I'm sure you guys do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we experience it in real life, and it's just like you just don't hear it, but you hear all the negative. Like that was such a powerful. Like,
Yep.
everybody
And I
should hear that story,
I wanna
sobriety or not.
I want to thank that person for using social media for something good.
100%.
So
We got to get that guy on the pod.
I think it might be a girl actually, but yeah.
That young lady needs to come
Yeah.
on the pod.
There you go.
Yeah. There we go.
So, I think in the famous, whoever said it, words will screw this thing up. I think that's how we end right there, boys. I think we can revisit this at a certain point, but anything we say will not do it justice. So, thank you all of you for being here and for one more day. Shout out to our listeners. Please like, follow, and share on all socials at Trudge Report Pod. Email us, trudgereportpod@yahoo.com. Send in your mailbag requests for topics, questions, and comments to any of these handles. Remember, we are all here. If anyone wants to talk about recovery and our experiences, or if you are struggling with some form of addiction. Thank you again to Janine and Stella Mix Podcast Management. Good night, God bless, and may you trudge the road of happy destiny. We'll see you next week.